Morning. How are we doing today? Ah. See today we get to see live action with all of my heroes. Alright, so listen. You're going to hear some activity in the background, and I want you to not fret about that. That's my police. It is nighttime, so sometimes I wonder if it's because I'm not loved or I'm that despised. I've never heard of anybody going through this shit before. Ever. I've never heard of anybody going through what I have had to go through. Oh, you just have no idea. And that's why we're live right now. Because, bless your hearts. For real. Bless your pretty little hearts. Oh, I'm not here to cuss anybody. I really don't understand what the fuck is going on. And I'm just not really concerned about it. Like, I still get to have my happy moments. And I'm really not trying to be mean in this moment right here, but I am being familiar on this note. Because I know how it feels to come so close to something and yet, rather than get to be a part of it, you watch all these different things about yourself come alive through other people you've never met before. And you're not getting any credit. In fact, you're being told that you're a piece of shit, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, know what you're doing, and that you just need to sit down, shut up, and let people steal from you. Because every time you say something, you're a piece of shit. You can come close to doing something with you. Is that goal, right? Yeah. Selena Gomez, didn't you have a experience yesterday similar to that? I mean, I'm just wondering, how did that moment of almost being a part of history on that time of such an eclectic group of people getting voted for the same Emmy, but you didn't get to be a part of it? Hey, at least they said your name. It's more than you did for me. But that's okay, because I know your true colors now, and I know that you're not ever going to be a friend to me. I've also learned that Hollywood is just not the place for me. I don't lie, cheat, steal, manipulate. I hate sad stories. I hate being a sad story. Um, and I'm okay with that. I don't want to be young again. I'm proud to be the age I am. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just floored that it took a bunch of rich people to come together and decide that I'm not allowed to have any kind of success no matter what I do. I mean, these aren't poor people that are attacking me. These are people with lots of money that are attacking me. So I'm sitting here like, can you explain it to me? Is this out of greed? Hey, because you guys have all this stuff. And yet you're coming after me. Like, I'm the golden fucking ticket that's not allowed to read the ticket. Wow. I mean, in one aspect, I'm flattered. But in another, I'm just like, you couldn't have just figured out a way to work with me instead of trying to block everything that I'm trying to be. I mean, kind of feeling like a Jesus moment right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants my stuff, but they don't want me to have any credit for it. Everybody wants a part of my fucking life, but they don't want to treat it right. Everybody wants to talk shit about me, but they don't want to tell the truth about me. Like I said, I'm feeling a little like Jesus, and I'm not gonna. Damn, do I leave these people sitting in a mess, or do I keep moving the fuck on and forget about them? Well, I'm not down on crossing fuckers, I promise you that. But I'm gonna stand as Jennifer, and I'm gonna help the world. And let's be better people than that. And have some class. More than anything. Y'all need to have some fucking class, man. You're beating down a bitch that's disabled. I mean, like, I can't even fully function if I wanted to. I'm a disabled bitch that has a hard time walking down the fucking stairs. I have a hard time walking through my house. Like, I can't run a fucking marathon with you motherfuckers, so I don't understand what your deal is. I mean, I deal with, I have mental issues. Like, which part of that do you want? The ADHD, autism, or the multiple personality schizoaffective? Which part do you want to deal with today? I mean, because you're so much better at living my life than I am. So, please tell me. And you want so much to be a part of the life that I've had to lead. How about going down the same roads I've had to go down to be who the fuck I am, to have the lyrics that come out of my mouth, to know the things that I know. It didn't just come out the fucking window. Like, I had to live a life in order to have the things that I've gotten that you've been taking from me so freely and happily. But kids have raised themselves. And I'm proud of them for that. I am. I'm proud of them because at a time when my kids could have chose to be negligent and just downright sorry ass kids, they didn't. You know, like with a lot of kids, when their parents don't get along and there's a lot of aggression going around, a lot of kids, they fall down. They fall into the street, they fall into the drugs and the alcohol, and they stop trying to be something. And my kids didn't do that. My kids did not do that. My kids accepted the situation for what it was and did the best they could with what they had. Are you there? Hello, hello. MHT. Hello. I'm not trying to be addicted, okay? I'm really not. I love Marshall. I do. And everybody else has been involved in all this. I really think it's fine that they had it happen because they know what it was like to sit in my minute for a second. You know that room that you told me that was not like I only designed and we've done too much work to tell what a position like that is. If we put somebody else in that position, don't do it for a minute. Watch it. I have a big one. I used to see years ago. Okay, here we go.
So it wasn't like she was coming up with a relationship or anything.
like I was trying to keep him or anything. That's not at all what it was. Like I was having his baby, and I'd actually asked for the baby. We were like not planning on sharing the responsibility. She was just supposed to be my responsibility. He came back later, all up in his head, like, I just can't let you do that. Let me be a part. He didn't have a problem taking her away from me, but he wanted me to make sure that he got to be a part. That's how that turned out for me. Anyway. Anyway. Mm. Sarah is a result of throwing a temper tantrum because I wasn't the one that was pregnant. Sarah is my Haley. There's your truth. Like Lex is Sarah. Haley is Sarah. Yep, you heard it. I'm a great woman. So, Sarah. That Mockingbird song you heard growing up, that was yours too. Didn't know your mom was friends with a rock star, huh? Had a history with a rock star. And you're named after his daughter. You're actually named after your great grandma, but you're a production from that. My missed opportunity. But at the time, he wasn't a rock star. Let me put that out there too. Nobody knew who Eminem was at that time. She was conceived on New Year's 98, 99. We were going into 99. And like literally having sex bringing in the new year. So if ever you need the story, Sarah, that it is. There it is. Your New Year's baby. And you were born to make up for the fact that I wasn't the one that was pregnant. So I'll just go off and have a kid of my own. I'm be a man. Fuck you. You wanted the truth. Here it is. I'm gonna roll one. In the other room where you can't see me. Liz, let me tell you something. I love you guys. From the bottom of my heart, all the way to the top. I love you. I get mad at you sometimes, but I still love you. I want to know what it's going to take for you to let me to be successful. You have a career. 89% of the people that are coming after me have successful careers. Now, I didn't get to raise my kids. I don't even want to go back to the place I used to live. I just want to live a good life and learn how to do it after I've lost everything I love. I know that you're not responsible for everything bad that happened in my life, but I know that you played a major role. And I know that I didn't deserve it. I would have never done you that way, and I didn't. When I let you go on that beach, I sent you off with good riddance. I cried and I hated myself for years, wishing I'd made a different decision. But it was a decision that I made in that moment, and I had to keep it in my head that it was the best possible decision and the only decision that I could make given the consequences. Now here I am 30 years later, not quite 30 years, but I just want to live a good life. I just want to be able to be happy and laugh and enjoy company once in a while. I'm not a big company person. You, here's the part that I'm kind of confused on. And I'm going to put this out in the air because I need to put it out in the air. Because, my darling readers, you really don't know what's going on when it comes to what's going on in my home and me. Some of you have it, and some of you don't have it. And you're like, well, then we're reading for somebody else. And like, no, you make it apparent that you're trying to tell me that you're reading my energy. And it's not. And that's okay. I'm not degrading you. I'm just, this is where we're at. I've never had anybody spend as much time on me as the person sitting in my house right now. I've never had anybody work as hard to keep me from being seen by people, heard by people, or even loved by people. Dude, I can't go to a gas station, the library, or an Uber ride without my best friend by my side. And when I say this, you're like, well, I just saw him. I'm telling you, there's proof. I mean, all you gotta do is look at Hustlers in the Hood and see it. I mean, he shows right there that we talk to each other every day. He's the first person that gets my voice and the last person that gets my voice of the day. So, yeah, it's gonna make me irate for this man to be all up in my house and trying to get me to have relations with him, and he's fluttering all over the place with all these other women. So I'm not watching you. I can feel you. Like, how do you know those things? God gave me these gifts. He gave you gifts too. And, oh, nice. One minute he calls Billy his girlfriend, and the next minute he says she's my kid. There are some things about me that just have not changed when it comes to my morals. And if you're with somebody else, I'm not going to be with you. And I'm not trying to be that broke bitch. It's always got to be in your pockets. So I'd like to be successful at something and have a building of something. I mean, like, if you want to build with me, then build with me. But stop trying to fucking block my progression. Like, could you imagine where things could be if I'd had access to feed my own kids and raise them and be able to have my own stuff to bring into a new relationship. Listen, for all of my naysayers out there, here, keep it dark. This bitch don't know what she's talking about. There's a spa and 2 weddings that are specific to my desires, owned by his daughters. I'm a mom figure somewhere in that shit. I'm great with being flattered. I'm okay with you using it to use it. crying out to you to get sober are around the same. In fact, we share that. It makes you very special to me, like one of my kids do. And like, don't look at me like a kid because I don't look at you as a mom. Okay, I understand and I can take that. She's like, I'm not a Disney star anymore. I'm a grown woman. Can you please look at me like that? I'm like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I will. I don't have a problem with that. But please understand that up until, the last couple of years, I looked at you as a kid, man. You were like my daughter. Like, my daughter watched your Hannah Montana. You're fucking... Up until the last couple of years, everything about you was wrapped up in Sarah. So when I looked at you, it was about Sarah. Everything. Like, your innocence, and then your innocence into stardom, your journey through life. Like, I related all of it to Sarah and how I needed to be able to deal with her. Thank you. And I wanted to make sure she didn't have to go through the shit that you had to go through. I wanted to make sure that I knew how to. I ended up not ever needing the information anyway, but at the time, I'm talking back Hannah Montana, like early Hannah Montana. This is the girl to watch. She's gonna help. When you're a mom and you want to make sure that you've got what it takes to get your kid out of the ruts they're in. You're not that age during that time period, and it's not the same at that time as it was when you were that age. I mean, when I was in my 20s, computers were not where they are today. Jobs weren't what they are today. People were not what they are today. Not even close, dude. And I would, outside of the ridicule and hate, which I'm kind of not understanding, but yeah. Anyway, I think that's somebody, that my daughter can look up to. And appreciate, grow from. You can't say that about a lot of people these days out in the limelight. But I can say that about it. Molly. Dude, listen. It took a lot of balls for her to make that song Flowers. It took a lot of balls to make that song. And I have to say, I just don't look at Jennifer Lawrence the same anymore. I love that girl too. And after that, I was like, well, there goes the Hunger Games. I was like, God damn it. Molly, what do you have to do this to me? She's like, well, you wanted to fuck your husband? Nope, we're good. Listen. I'm not the bitch that's gonna write a song about it. I'm not. I'm not. But if you'd like to know what happens to the women Brandy, how are you doing these days? I walked away. That's the best motherfucking thing you can do. You know, listen, I'm telling you. If your man or woman cheats on you, you just pick up your shit and move the fuck on. Quit worrying about whether or not they give a fuck or why they did it. You just pick up your shit and keep moving. And there is no shame in knowing your self worth. Okay, there's no shame in that. Don't ever feel ashamed. Don't ever feel ashamed. Because, well, you'll miss out on a lot. You're not always going to feel on top of the world. Look, let me tell you something. Some of my heroes don't exist in this realm anymore. But I promise you that if you put on some sweats, some mineral water, some weed, and don't forget the incense, put you on some Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings, good old Hank Jr. Now, if you really want to get deep, you can get some Hank Senior in there. That's a little wild for my taste. I like Junior. Yeah. Them boys right there, they'll help you get through. Most definitely. They will help you get through. And what I mean by that is those are the bad boys of the country. And they were really good hearted men that had some really bad habits. They got them in a lot of trouble. But their souls were fire. Every one of their souls were fire, dude. And that's what you need to pull from that. Just like, they call energy vamps. You're not vamping their energy, you're utilizing it to tune yours. You're using their energy as a tuning fork for your energy. Some of the best, dude. You can get some Willie Nelson in there, but he's our Mr. Laid Back. Like, he didn't bother nobody. Willie is kind of like me. I don't bother nobody unless somebody bothers me. I'm like that cow in the field. I'm not going to bother you if you try to bother me. But if you tip me the fuck over, I'm going to make sure you don't forget me. You ever gone cow tipping before? I shouldn't try doing that if you don't know how to run. I'm just saying. Probably not something you want to try to do. I can definitely tell you this. I've never personally tipped over a cow, and you won't ever catch me doing it. But I have watched it, and I have laughed my ass off at motherfuckers stepping in that dump. You better take an extra set of shoes if you can do that shit. But it's a really instant fun. It really is. And you're like, how do you tip a cow? I don't know. But it gets done. Like, they sleep standing up. So, I've never personally done it. I've watched it get done, though. I've never personally done it. And don't think that I stood there waiting to find out the cow's reaction. Fuck you. I don't even remember which way I run. I just know I made it to the car. That's all I know. I made it to the car. Listen, that's all. I never did it again. I never tried it for myself. I never asked for that experience again. And I don't know if that person ever got that cow dunk out the car from everybody's shoes. Listen. Oh, Lord. I'm talking about. Look, I'm trying to roll a joint in the dark. Hold on a minute. Gotta pick out the stems. Gotta pick out. There ain't no seeds. There's just a bunch of stems, but. I almost want to take a picture of this motherfucker and say, look here, I did it in the dark. Look. I roll joints so good. I am gonna own this one. I'm gonna own this one because I'm gonna have me a moment. It's a moment for me. I'm gonna have this moment. I roll joints so good. Snoop Dogg made a comment. Oh, Lord, listen. 544. And the funniest part about it is that the reason that I roll joints so good is because the dude that I used to call my Snoop used to make fun of me for the way that I roll my joints and said that I'd never be able to roll a joint again, or I'd never learn how to roll a joint. So I poured out and inked the weed and started rolling one day. You know, roll after roll after roll. I'd roll it, pour it out. Roll it, pour it out. Roll it, pour it out. And then I became the roller. And I still wasn't doing it all that great. But then I left and I came here. And I had access and time. And I perfected rolling a joint. So now I can roll it like a cigarette. And if I have one little part of it that doesn't look like a cigarette, I get mad and aggravated. I just gotta roll the ends. It's hard to roll it like that with shake. And I smoke shake. I'm smoking bud right now, but actually it's got bud and shake. Don't knock it because it's just as good as the bud. It really is. I mean, listen, you get a good bank on that. Let's get it. Oh my God, I'm not here. That's okay. I haven't been on here in a minute. I'm gonna have to start getting on here more often, but not. I am going through a transition period right now, and learning a lot of stuff. When I get off here, I got my Reiki that I should have done 2 days ago. She posted 2 days ago, and I still haven't I was on there this morning. I was like, I'm gonna do that today, and no. So I gotta do it tonight. I know that this thing with keeping me away from success is over now. And I am becoming quite an influence. I don't want to let you down. I don't want to let me down. And there's going to be times where I'm going to say stuff you're not going to like. There's going to be times where you say stuff I don't like either. And I'm okay with that. And there's going to be people that I'm going to be hanging out with that you're not going to like. And I'm okay with that. There's going to be people that you hang out with that I don't like. I'm not going to be okay with that. I'm going to throw temper tantrums. I'm going to show my ass. And get you to change your mind if there are people I don't think you should be around. And if I don't say anything about you being around them, then they're probably not energy you need to worry about, and it's okay for you to deal with them. But if I throw a fit, that's when you usually have to wonder. But nobody would have known that in the beginning, that I'm really not a hateful person. I really am a kind, gentle, honorable person. I'm just tired of getting shit on, held back, and stolen from. I will be coming back on here tomorrow night, and I had a surprise. I'm not gonna let anybody know until tomorrow when I come back on here, so that nobody else can do it before I do it. But I am going to. We're gonna have fun with it. My other channels don't let me go live, and I'm not sure how that's going to work out in the future, so I'm not going to make any plans on those, but know that I'll still post on them. Marshall don't want me to post on anything but this one right here anymore, but that's why he's made sure that the other channels don't make it. He wants me back on this one. And when I said yesterday I wasn't going to post anymore, I have 4 channels. And this is the channel that dinged for my YouTube monthly thing time. Out of all 4 channels, this is the one that dinged and got the money out of the bank when I had it open. Like, I keep my card closed, so transaction confirmation. But I had it open for another transaction that popped through on that one, and I was like, damn it. And he gave me another sub on one of my other channels, and I'm grateful. But this right here is supposed to be my main squeeze. Why is the only one going live right now? So, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Thank you for taking the time to get to know the reader behind the readings. I've learned quite a bit when it comes to that too. It really does make a difference in the reader that you're getting, the messages that you're getting. Um, it really is different. Like, there's low vibrational and high vibrational. There are true seekers and trouble starters. Um, there are spiritually based and earthly based. I never knew so many people were out there that did the same thing as me. I really grew up thinking it was rare. And come to find out, it's not so rare. And I'm going to lean you guys in on a little thing or two for those of you who don't know. We'll go into this in more detail at another time. But I didn't know this until today. That tarot is related to the Kabbalah. And that it is a religious practice of a religion. For those of you who don't know, Kabbalah is a form of Judaism, I believe. I'm just learning it. So correct me if I'm wrong, just don't be rude about it. I just started learning 555. I just started learning about the Quran. I haven't read the Torah or nothing like that. But I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I just started studying that stuff the last couple of days. I had been studying Hermeticism and esotericism, and now I'm working on the Kabbalah. All of them related, which is really cool. And that's what I'm going to be studying. So even if I'm not on here every day, I'm not supposed to be on here every day. I've tried that everyday thing, and I did really good. I was doing really good with it, but just like everything has a season. And right now, my season is not posting on a schedule. I'm supposed to post when the message comes in. I'm supposed to post when Daddy says share your story. I'm supposed to post when guided, not on a schedule right now. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be posting. I just know that my journey is supposed to be public, but private at the same time. Like, I'm on here telling you guys things about my life. I don't know anything about many of your lives, and I'm okay with that. But I need you to be okay within the future that I am a little more private about my life and what's going on. I don't share everything with you like I used to. I'm still going to share things, but I'm walking into a part of my life where a lot of it is private. Most of it is private. And 4000. That's cool. And I'm gonna keep it that way. It's not disregarding anybody. It's that I'm working on things that take a lot of energy, and I'm hoping to be able to change society when it's ready in a good way. Um, Let me be your leader. Like I'm not. No, I'm not a buffoon. Like this is something that's supposed to be shared. Like once I learn it and how to figure it out and it being a vet, then I teach it to others so they can do it too. Type thing. I'm not a gatekeeper. Um, but I'm not gonna share it with you until I know for sure what the fuck I'm doing. Like you don't put a fucking a first grader in a professor's position. And that's kind of like where I'm at right now. I'm a first grader. Got a long way to go before I hit that professor season when it comes to that stuff. Um, and I've learned that it's not something to mess with at all. So, like, it's a very private religion. And I'm not going to say it's religion. We'll say it's a religion. It's a very private religion. Um, like the Masons. Um, and I am a Mason, naturally, by blood, and by choice. So, which is another thing that I need to be studying. Is like you can't be. Actually, I'm a welder, so I can be a Mason. Um, and I'm working on the ability to become a Freemason, um, which are your bricklayers, your welders, your construction workers, um, your architects. Those are your Freemasons, your light workers, or your secret light workers. Um, Freemason been the most popular is Ben Franklin. Is your most popular Mason. A lot of people were Masons that we don't know because they were private labeled. Um, high ranking, highly influential, standing right in a crowd and you not know it. And I almost want to be in a position like that. Like, I want to be able to help people, but I also want that freedom of people don't know who I am out in the world. Does that make sense? Like, I want to be able to walk in the grocery store and do my shopping without people walking up to me. But I also want to be that person that is behind the curtain, making sure that you make the best choices. As you can tell, we're not doing great tonight. I needed to get these things out of my space so that I can give you guys some ratings later on. I have four. I think I have 6 new decks coming. They should be here around the 30th. Um, We will be doing a reading on the 30th. I will be going live on the 30th. Um, Hopefully, I'll have all those decks by then. They're beautiful. Oh my god, they're beautiful. Oh, I finally listened. I'm gonna have to get another bookshelf already. And I like literally have to watch my money because I have $1,000 worth of cards picked out. I have to like stop myself from spending money on cards, dude. Cards and stones. Dude, I'm not even playing. I love cards and stones, dude. And I play all that shit all day long. If I'm not asking questions about stuff you guys need to know, those cards are still in my hands. Like, I spend more time on my cards in private than I do showing you guys. Um, they're just like, I wake up in the morning, that's what I go to. When I go to bed at night, that's what I go to. I take my naps throughout the day. Um, if I'm not watching it, I'm doing it. Even if I'm watching a movie, I'm doing cards in the middle of a movie. When I was welding, I couldn't wait to get to the house so I could do my cards. I couldn't wait to get to the house so I could do my cards. And now that's what I do for a living. And I keep trying to walk away from it. And what I have to walk away from is gonna just be something that follows me unless I nip it in the bud now. And I keep telling you guys to nip shit in the bud, so I have to nip this in the bud. I'm not going anywhere. This is where I belong, and I'm just getting stronger in my abilities. So if I was supposed to walk away from it, then my gifts would be depleting instead of increasing. And that just is not the case. Like, I'm getting blessed profusely, dude. Like, profusely. How about that Sean Diddy Combs? Listen, getting blessed profusely. I saw a thing today. We're gonna get off that here in just a second, but I want to mention. I saw a headline or something. Somebody's talking about it or something. I didn't spend much time on it. And it was somebody making an excuse for him. And I was like, oh, that just killed your career. I was just like, that just, it was a newscaster or something. And I was just like, either this motherfucker's been hiding under a rock somewhere, or they just have a warped way of thinking too. But there's no defense for what he did. I don't care what part of it you talk about. There's no fucking excuse. There's absolutely no excuse from the bottom to the top. That man abused his position of power. He enslaved his own race. Where the fuck is he expecting to go today? Like, you like completely fucking anyway. May everyone he's ever attacked be blessed in front of his eyes. Know that you're going to be taken care of and he can't hurt anybody else again. The monster has been removed from under the bed. I repeat, the monster has been removed from under the bed. You might find him in a jail cell, but as long as you act right and do your P's and Q's, you won't ever have to meet him. And I'm guessing he probably ain't gonna be stuck in that motherfucker for too long unless people realize, he might be carrying some kind of disease in that blood. You better stay the fuck 10 foot back. I'm just saying. Like, listen, I went on a ride today. Bless his little heart. He was driving a Ford F-150. God damn, I got to drive in a truck today. Oh, Lord, listen. Oh, in the right biscuit. I can't wait till I get me a truck. But anyway, I wore a dress today. Well, I was a skirt and a sweater. But anyway, I felt like it, I didn't put any makeup on, and do my hair, just put on a dress. And I'm feeling good about myself. I'm starting to feel good about myself. My physical therapy's doing good. Things are starting to work out for me. And things are calmer for me. Healing. And, well, he was just flattering. Told me I was looking pretty and everything. And, he started hitting on me. I haven't been hit on in a minute. And I was like, this dude's hitting on me. Okay, I gotta nip this in the butt somehow and still get home with him having a smile on his face. So how do I do this? like when you got a waiter that comes to your table and he's asking you for your phone number, but you're not interested and you don't want him to spit in your food, so you're nice until you get your food, and then you find excuses to pay the check at the counter instead of wait for them to come back and ask you how things work. Kind of like that type. I'm just okay, I'm uncomfortable, and we got lost, so that made me even more uncomfortable. Is that I don't know how it worked out, but it was trying to take us to another appointment instead of taking me home. And I'm not from here, and I don't travel very often, where I'm paying attention to everything. I'm a passenger, so it's not my well, I guess it is my responsibility, but it's not usually my responsibility to know where we're going. But I immediately noticed that we were going the wrong direction. I was like, what are we doing? So here I am trying to deter this guy and get home at the same time, and I'm lost in a town that I have no idea where the fuck I'm at in this moment. And I'm like, I'm about to get my he's like, tell me the address. We got the GPS code finally, but anyway. He's thinking, you could tell that he's egging it, right? He's pushing the buttons, trying to show interest. And he started saying things sexual and insinuating innuendos. And he's like, no, I've actually been abstinent. He said, what? He said, I've actually been abstinent for almost 10 years. I bet that's hard. No, it's really not. He's like, oh, no, I didn't mean that. It's like, no, it's really not hard. Um, but anyway, listen, those moments right there are priceless. They're priceless because, the average woman, shoot, the average woman is active sexually. At least within months of each other. And so he's looking at me like, is there something wrong with you? There's absolutely nothing wrong with me. He's like, how do you do that? Well, it's easier for me. But then he kept like, don't be mad. I'm not the only girl who does this. But he was kind of still insistent. Like he could keep me company, and I'm like, I got a best friend. He keeps me company all the time. We're good on that one. Like that moment where you're trying to be kind and say I'm not interested, and no is the answer, and they are persistent, and you don't want to say that you have a boyfriend, because you don't, but you don't want to tell them that you're alone because they'll keep antagonizing you. So you go, and I really do have a best friend. Like, I really do. Which makes it even weirder that some of the activities are going on that are going on. But he said, how does that work out for you? Like, well, I'm accepting the fact that he's a hoe, and he's accepting the fact that I'm always trying to talk to God. Like, I literally sit in my house communicating with God all day long. That's what I do. That's what I love to do. I love to talk to God all day. I love to figure out different ways of talking to God and shit to him. That's what I do. He said, oh, that's what I do. I study God and watch my best friend go and fuck around. Anyway, isn't that just yin and yang? Oh my Lord Jesus. Alright, I gotta take my hair down. Just run the air off. It's the first headache I've had in months. Where have you been? Thank you. Oh, I gotta get my coffee. I physically, well, I can tell you, I ate McDonald's today and I had physical therapy. I don't. I haven't had McDonald's in a few months. Before that, it was 2 years since I'd had it. I don't eat McDonald's very often. It's not anything I'm gonna make a habit, but it was like a treat for me. I was at KFC, but um, it was like 30 minutes until they were gonna get some more chicken, and I wasn't gonna sit there listening to the music that they were playing for 30 minutes. So I went to McDonald's. I felt kind of like I was getting run out of that motherfucker anyway. And it always makes me feel like it always takes me back to 2006, and I don't need to be there. I love KFC food, but yeah, it puts me in a ill state of mind. So it was probably better for me to leave there. But nobody else does chicken like KFC, man. That's kind of like, god damn, man, you couldn't have just fucking left and leave my fucking chicken alone. Don't fuck with my goddamn food. Don't fuck with my food. Listen, don't fuck with my goddamn food. Alright, so I have a challenge for you guys. If you're still with me right now, I have a challenge. Thank you, Em, for being here. I want you guys to be honest with yourselves. I want you to take the time to be completely honest with the lifestyle that you want to be living. Not the lifestyle that you're living according to the level of attacks you're getting. I'm talking about the general idea of what you want to your life to be like. And in the next few weeks, I want you to start getting together the plans that it would take for you to get these things. I've cut off a lot of people that I don't listen to anymore. Um, I mean, no disregard. I know a lot of you still listen to me. Um, I don't. I do listen to tarot. I never know from day to day who I'm going to listen to. There's times where I listen to somebody I've listened to before, and times I listen to somebody new. I don't listen as often as I used to. I try to do my own readings and be able to put out readings rather than that. But as a reader, you use reading as a guide, and it's a lot better when you are getting readings from somebody else with the readings that you do for yourself so you can check yourself. I it doesn't always work out that way, but sometimes it does. There are a lot of new readers out here that are popping up, and I'm going to give you some great advice. Stay honest and keep your clients. Don't make them your friends. They are your clients, and they're your clients for a reason. And that line needs to stay where you can see it. Because when you shift your vibration to being on the inside rather than the outside, your perception and channel becomes intoxicated, and it's not as easy for you to be neutral. You tend to start to choose sides, and that's not fair to the reader that's getting their advice, and it's not fair to you as the reader because you're not, in most cases, doing it on purpose. It's just a natural human thing to want to be there for your friend, for your loved one. And they become your loved one, you tend to lean more on them being the right one, whether they're in the wrong or not. And it's very important as a reader and as a counselor, because as a reader, that's what you are. You are a doctor, you are a psychiatrist, you are a psychologist. And you're like, what? Okay, for those of you who don't know, you hear the sirens. For those of you who don't know, a the only, well, there's a few differences. The difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist is that a psychiatrist has more education and they can prescribe medication. A psychologist is your counselor, and they don't normally provide you with medication, but they do provide you with information that you can take with you outside of the session and use in your life. Like they can not just be your counselor, but they can provide you with exercises on how to take care of whatever it is that you're dealing with, type thing. So if you're wondering, most people, you will, in your hospitals and doctors' offices, most people, if you're going to get medication, will need to, now this is for lower income brackets. I don't know how it is for the higher income, but for the lower income, you end up seeing two doctors. You see one that gives you meds and one that gives you counseling. I hardly see it done where the same one counseling you is the one that gives you the medication. You see it in the movies, but in real life, that's not the experience that I have had or seen others have. It's always been you see two. You see the psychologist and you see the psychiatrist. And the reason why you differentiate between the two is because you're working on different areas of the brain and your socialism, where the psychiatrist is trying to find out what kind of medications would help you. Your psychologist is trying to figure out which ways would best be for you to be social on the inside and the outside. Their job is different. And that's why the psychiatrist has more education, because they have to be a bigger part of the solution. Now, you can go to um, a regular counselor. Um, I will also put that out there. You do have your general counselors. The different I'm gonna tell you the best way to fucking do this. You have your associate's degree, your bachelor's degree, your master's degree, and then your doctor's degree. And then after your doctor's, well, actually between your master's and your doctorate, and even in your bachelor's, you can specialize. And those are extracurriculars that you put in your file. They make you a more knowledgeable doctor. Um, but I would highly suggest that you not like. I would highly suggest that you specialize, but make your office a general office, a general practice office, if that makes sense. Um, because when you put a specialty on your degree, it provides you with more information for that specific. You can touch deeper on that subject when it comes to the education of it, um, and the practice of it. But then when you put it with the general, that gives you more room to help people. Um, where like my specialty was victims of abuse, um, teens up to adults, and older adults. I didn't really do a lot of specializing with younger kids. Mine was the 16 to 35, 45 range, was who I work with, and people in trauma, um, is what I was studying, and people with addictions. Um, highly recommend if you're going to be working in any kind of social work, I would highly recommend that you take some social classes on addiction. Um, and it doesn't matter if you're a police officer, if you're a counselor, if you're a teacher, if you work with the general public, I would highly recommend that you invest in an online class that's $50 or even free. They do have those out there where you can just take a class, and I would highly suggest even your human resources take those classes. If you run a business, take those classes. If you don't take any other classes, like you don't take any business classes, take a class on addiction and trauma victims. It will help you be able to work with others, even in your moments of darkness. it will. It also gives you the opportunity to have more compassion because you look at it differently. It's not taboo to you anymore. You become more personal with it. So I would highly recommend it. Um, highly recommend it. Anyway, I am gonna call it a night. I appreciate you guys being here. I haven't even finished this J yet, but I'm going to with this cup of coffee that's gonna put my lights out and this headache gone from holding my hair up too tight. I will be posting more readings. I do have to get on here tomorrow and post a reading for you guys. Tomorrow I'll be posted But there'll be blackout readings. We're not showing my face until next year. I want it to be a surprise. Like I'm doing a lot of work on myself, and I want to come out with a big banger. So I'm not going to show myself until next year. On my anniversary, 1/13/25, I will be back showing myself to the public. And until then, I want all you guys to learn your new exercises. Get up off your asses. And for my readers out here that are struggling, and you're posting a lot of readings right now. Oh, damn, don't get mad at me for this one. Stop posting so many readings and start focusing on how to get yourself out of that stuck. And I'm saying this because a lot of you are gonna need to focus on other forms of income besides YouTube. And a lot more readers than that have already made YouTube their main form and source of income. That's going to be shifting for some. And I'm giving you a heads up that you should probably endorse new hobbies that will provide you with extra income. Everybody's got different habits and hobbies that they do. I could be more open and show you guys the different things that I know how to do. And in time I will do that. I used to do that with you guys. But we'll see. That'll be I don't know. Because I know how to make jewelry. I know how to make all kinds of stuff. I know how to do all kinds of stuff. I know how to sew. I know how to crochet. I know how to make a book. I know how to do all different kinds of things. I just haven't been. I know how to do woodwork. I know how to do metal. I know how to do carpentry. I know how to lay brick. I know how to go in rock yard. I love doing rock yards. That's some fucking hard work, but I love a rock yard. I do. I love being in rock yards. Imagine that. I mean, I wouldn't know why. Well, what we dealt with was mostly limestone, and it's real pretty. Forgot what it's called, but it's everywhere, dude. It's a tan stone, and it's beautiful. You make fireplaces out of it, crosswalks, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You can get slabs of it. Like slabs of it is really expensive, but if you know people at the yard, you can just go in and get it yourself and start buying it at the store where somebody else It's kind of like a junkyard. Like, you could pay somebody to go to the junkyard for you and get a new part for something, or you can go to a junkyard and pay like pennies on the dollar if you just go in and take it off yourself. Dude, like, listen, if you're in the Detroit area and you're wanting to go picking, like, come get me. I ain't got no cars to work on and I want to go picking. And I keep passing this junkyard down the road and I'm like, God damn it. I want to go picking. Jesus. Oh my God, I love junkyards, dude. Oh my God, I love junkyards. Listen, there's so much fun to just go in and just wonder what kind of life was inside that car while I was going down the road, man. And you just want to, like, see. Like, I've only seen one junkyard here, and we're in, like, Motor City. So, like, I want to know where the big ones are, the real old ones, the rundown shops. I don't want the ones where everybody goes to every day. I want the motherfuckers that have been here for a fucking minute and they got 1950 and 60 cars in there. Like, that's what I want. Like, I want the history in there. So, yeah, that's what I'm craving right now. I went today and I got to walk for a little bit. I didn't get to walk very far before I started really hurting again. But I got to go past this, well, I guess it was just a shop that didn't do any body work in it. It was changed oil, tires, and I don't know what you would call that one. And changed fluids and everything. But they actually do work on it. It's not. It wasn't a lube. It was an actual garage. But they didn't do like the they do the mechanic work. They don't do the uh, collision repair work, not the body work. And by the way, that is different positions. That is different jobs. Like, back in the day, your mechanic did everything. Okay, but these days, going to school, they've reclassified everything into categories. So if you want to be the all around, you gotta, it's gonna take you probably 4 or 5 years to get all the education. Whereas back in the day, you could get it all in one shot. But at the same time, I do want to put this out here. For those of you who don't have the money to go to school, or you're in some situation where you can't use a FAFSA to go to a technical school, by the way, most technical schools have scholarships that can provide you access to their classes, regardless of what kind of position you're in. These technical schools can help you get situated, and technical schools offer the coolest of fucking jobs that you'll want to keep, like a welding position, collision repair, technical, electrician, um, HVAC. Um, those are big money tickets right there. Computer graphics, computer, all kinds of computer stuff. Um, how to build houses. All of that stuff you can do at technical schools. And most of your states right now are providing that, especially for your fresh out of high school kids. That right there is free. They can go to that school for free. It's not. It doesn't even take off their FAFSA. It's free education. I love the wild, dude. I that's my like I love that kind of stuff, dude. I love that kind of stuff. I can't wait until I can get through this physical therapy and get my body back up to par, and my ass will be out here building houses and warping cars. That's like that's what I like doing. I don't like sitting in my ass doing nothing. I enjoy being able to do this, but I also enjoy being able to say I did that when it comes to the welding and the housing and all the different, being able to get a car to start or being able to make it look like it never got touched. Um, I want to, that's the kind of, I want to make a difference, stuff like that. I love doing stuff like that. I love the smell of Bondo. But I got to walk past that garage today. I could not get enough of that burnt oil. Yes, there is a difference in fresh oil and burnt oil. And burnt oil, it just, I don't know, there's just a smell and aroma. And I love it. So I'm walking past there like I'm getting fresh air, just, it was me, smelling it. But I love oil, the smell of it. Um, it was refreshing today. There's one right down there by the library. Anyway, yes, I am going to get off of here. Wow, we've been on here 2.5 hours. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yes, we're going to get off here. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. And I'll be back on here. We'll learn together, grow together, and move forward together. Until next time.